So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoking the backlash. Let's get to the WNBA, where Chicago Sky rookie forward Angel Reese was ejected from the game last night.
All right, let's talk about something wild. How does a professional basketball player struggle with layups? No, seriously, how?
Well, it's not just because of one person. It's because of me too, and I want y'all to realize that. Like, it's not just because of one person. A lot of us have done so much for this game.
Angel Reese, a name everyone knows, is out here missing shots that high school players make in their sleep. And the craziest part? She's being hyped up like she's changing the game. But let's be real, is she really?
Hometown, I got my family that stands up for me. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen.
Just look at the footage. She's wide open under the basket, nobody around, and instead of going for an easy layup, she passes the ball behind her. What was that? That's not a smart play. That's a player who doesn't trust herself to make the simplest shot in basketball. And it's not just one mistake. This keeps happening. Her footwork, all over the place. Her shooting form, inconsistent. And her finishing? Let's just say, defenders don't even have to try. Now compare this to other rookies who actually worked on their game. Take Caitlin Clark. Her footwork, her confidence, her ability to finish at the rim, it's like night and day. That's the difference between skill and hype. At this point, you gotta ask, how did Angel Reese even make it to this level without fixing these basic issues? And yet, she's being celebrated like she's dominating. But let's be honest, if she was really that good, would we even be having this conversation? At this point, it's a fair question. How did Angel Reese get this far without fixing her biggest flaw? In college, was she just dominating because she was bigger and stronger than her opponents? Now, in the WNBA, those weaknesses are front and center, and teams are exposing them night after night.
So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash.
Let's be honest, her finishing ability is a problem. How does a player this big struggle so much near the basket? That's what fans are wondering as they watch her miss layup after layup. The stats don't lie either. Her field goal percentage in the paint is shockingly low for someone her size. The eye test? Even worse. Whether it's rushed shots, poor touch, or just bad decisions, she isn't getting the job done at the rim. And then there's the rebounding. On paper, 13 rebounds per game as a rookie looks incredible. Elite numbers, future star. That's what the media says. But have you actually paid attention to how she's getting those boards? Because once you do, it changes everything. A huge portion of her rebounds come from her own missed shots. Wait, what? Yeah, she takes a bad shot, misses, grabs her own rebound, tries again, misses, grabs another. It's a cycle. Some fans are even joking that she's playing one-on-one with herself out there. And yet, these numbers are being celebrated like they're proof of dominance. Last season, there was a wild theory floating around. Is Angel Reese missing shots on purpose just to pad her rebounding stats? Sounds ridiculous, right? But when you see how often she gets multiple chances on the same possession, it starts making sense. If you throw up a bad layup, grab your own board, and put it back in on the second or third try, does that make you an elite rebounder or just inefficient? And let's not forget those legendary double-doubles from college. Remember how the media couldn't stop talking about them? She's rewriting the record books, they said. But was it true greatness or just a product of getting second chances over and over again? Oh, the irony. Some say Angel Reese is an elite rebounder, but is that really the full story? Watch her closely during games, and you'll notice something strange. Instead of locking in on defense, she's already thinking about her next rebound. Where's Reese going? Her teammates are trying to defend, but she's moving toward the basket early, completely abandoning her assignment. The result? Wide open shots for the opposing team. But hey, at least she adds another rebound to her stats, right?
The steal. Here is Reese. Reese leans in, and that's a charge. And number 5 on Angel Reese.
Now, let's talk about her so-called big moments. Picture this. Chicago is down by 20 points with just a few minutes left. Angel Reese has barely made an impact. 2 points, 4 rebounds, nothing special. But suddenly she comes alive. She fights, hustles, grabs every loose ball, and by the final buzzer, the lead has shrunk to 15 points. The game is still a loss, but on the stat sheet, she finishes with a double-double. Wow, what a performance. That's what some fans say. But did she really dominate, or did she just start padding her numbers once the game was out of reach? Her rebounding is another thing that doesn't tell the whole truth. Who's doing the real work? Her teammates. They're the ones boxing out opponents, clearing space, and taking hits. Then, at the last second, Reese swoops in for the easy rebound. It's like doing nothing on a group project and still getting an A, one fan jokes. Some people even believe she's missing layups on purpose. How is a professional player this bad at finishing? That's the question being asked, and it's a fair one. If she could actually convert those easy chances, would her rebound rebounding numbers still look as impressive, and it's not just about rebounding. What happens next is even worse. After grabbing those boards, does she make smart plays? Not really. Instead of resetting the offense, she the difference between truly elite rebounders like Dennis Rodman, Charles Barkley, or Breanna Stewart. They turn rebounds into real scoring opportunities. Their efforts lead to wins. Meanwhile, Chicago remains near the bottom of the standings, despite Reese's supposedly dominant numbers. Then, there's the unrivaled 3-on-3 league, a big opportunity for WNBA players to showcase their talent and earn extra money. Reese joined Team Rose, playing alongside skilled players like Lexi Hull. But when the championship game arrived, her actions spoke louder than words. What happened that night? That's a discussion for another time. The bottom line is simple. Effort is great, but results matter more. Angel Reese plays with energy, but until she fixes her biggest flaws, her numbers will always raise more questions than answers.
Basically holding her up right now.
Where was Angel Reese? That was the question on everyone's mind when Team Rose fought their way to a championship win in the unrivaled tournament. She wasn't on the court, she wasn't on the bench, she wasn't even in the building. Sure, Reese had a wrist injury, but was that enough reason to completely disappear? Even if she couldn't play, supporting her teammates from the sidelines would have shown leadership and commitment. Instead, when the team needed her the most, she was nowhere to be found. You mean to tell me this title is on her resume, but she didn't play in the last 2 games? One fan questioned. The moment Team Rose sealed their victory, Reese was suddenly back. Well, sort of. Jokes. Can you imagine legends like Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant doing that? Sitting at home, skipping the big game, and then calling in like they contributed? But the most shocking part wasn't just the FaceTime call. It was what happened next. Reese wasted no time posting on social media, acting like she had just led the team to victory. "What y'all gonna say now?" she wrote on Instagram. The response was immediate. That you weren't even there?" One comment read. The internet was quick to point out how strange it was for a player to take credit for a championship they didn't play in. This raised a bigger question. What really matters to Angel Reese? Was it basketball, or was it personal branding? Some argued that her absence during the final games proved where her priorities truly were. Championship players show up, one analyst said. They don't check out when the stakes are high. Compare that attitude to other top athletes. Players like Caitlin Clark, Breanna Stewart, or Aja Wilson are known for their relentless drive. They aren't just about numbers or social media presence. They perform when it matters most. That's the difference between good players and great ones. And when it comes to actual skill, well, the footage speaks for itself. Reese is a strong rebounder, but how does she stack up in overall basketball ability? When you break it down, the gap between her and the truly elite players is bigger than some fans want to admit. Watch their shooting, their playmaking, their decision-making, one coach said. There's levels to this.
I really appreciate you all being here and your support, not only of myself, but this amazing team. And today was incredible, so thank you guys. I appreciate it. And the coaching staff, you guys were awesome too.
Let's talk numbers first. Caitlin Clark, widely considered the best point guard in the WNBA, put up some serious stats in her rookie season. She averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds per game. Numbers that prove she isn't just hype, she's the real deal. Now let's break down her game. When Clark catches the ball beyond the arc, she's ready. Her shot preparation is next level, one analyst said. Feet set, shoulders square, eyes locked in. It's automatic. A perfect example? In a game against the Mystics, she sank 3 straight three-pointers with the exact same form, even with defenders flying at her. That kind of consistency doesn't happen by accident. It comes from hours in the gym, taking thousands of shots when no one is watching. But Clark isn't just a shooter. Her passing ability is just as deadly. She averaged 8.4 assists per game, not just because she's unselfish, but because she sees plays before they even develop. In one crucial game, she threw a no-look pass through 3 defenders so perfectly timed that even the opposing coach had to shake his head in disbelief. That's not luck, a former player said. That's film study. That's understanding the game at a deeper level. Clark's work ethic separates her from the rest. When she had a rough shooting stretch early in the season, she didn't complain. She showed up 2 hours before practice for extra reps. After a game where she committed 5 turnovers against Phoenix, she stayed on the court working on her ball handling drills while the rest of her team headed to the locker room. She doesn't make excuses, a veteran player said. She just puts in the work.
Angel Reese has had a fairly impressive rookie season, but there's still a lot of room for improvement in her game, especially in her ability to finish around the basket. Fans
Now, let's compare that to Angel Reese. When Clark struggles, she grinds harder. When Reese faces criticism, she posts on social media. One player is locked in on basketball, the other seems more focused on building a brand. Look, both are talented, but there's a difference between being great and being legendary, one WNBA insider pointed out. Clark is already producing at an elite level, and she's only getting better. She's got all the tools: shooting, passing, IQ, and most importantly, the mindset, a former MVP said. If she keeps this up, we're looking at one of the greatest to ever do it. Angel Reese's offensive numbers tell a different story. Among all starting forwards in the league, she ranks near the bottom in offensive rating. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is setting a different standard. When the Fever had 3 games in 4 nights, Clark canceled a scheduled appearance to focus on recovery and film study. That kind of discipline isn't just a small detail, it's what separates elite players from the rest. People say Caitlin Clark moves the needle. That's wrong, one analyst stated. She is the needle. She sets the tone for everything. Clark's impact goes beyond just stats.
The kinds of plays she's capable of making, but there's just something very special about this young woman.
Going for that 50-50 ball.
Taurasi from half court, cashing it.
WNBA legends are taking notice. Diana Taurasi recently pointed out that Clark plays like someone who has spent her entire life mastering the game. Most rookies are still trying to figure out how to balance basketball with everything else, Taurasi said. Clark is different. She's locked in. Clark's presence is also lifting the Indiana Fever in ways that go beyond just scoring and assists. That team has been trying to get back to their championship days, one veteran player noted. What she's doing for them right now is huge. It's not just hype, it's real production. What are your views on this? Do let us know in the comments section below, and for more such amazing videos, do subscribe to our channel.